Good day to each and everyone, and especially to you, Ma'am Mitch. I'm Quinlin D. Bitacora, taking Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English 1. So in this video, I am going to make my own viewpoints about the difference between the 19th century Philippines and the 21st century of the Philippines, which refers for today's situation of the Philippines. So there are a lot of differences between these two centuries, especially when it comes to its major aspects: the social, the cultural, political, economic, and even the religious developments. The first one is the political aspect. So in the 19th century, Philippines is having a monarchy under the Spanish colonizers, in which there are lower and upper classes. While in the 21st century, Philippines right now is having a democratic country in which Filipinos have the right to vote, and they have the right to choose whoever they wanted to become an official in the government. In the 19th century, there is this instability of colonial administration in which there are 3 to 4 months of terms of the Captain General in the country, in which this may further resulted on no Filipino representation in Spanish Cortes. While in the 21st century, Philippines now is having a systematic way of governing in the ways of administration, as there were 1 or more years of term. In the 19th century, only men are allowed to vote and to take positions in the government. While in the 21st century, there are equal opportunities for both men and women in terms of voting and taking positions in the government. So, in terms of economic aspect, in the 19th century, Philippines is having a philosophy in which the friars are considered as the most influential people during the time. And because of their influence and power, they use it to take advantage of the Filipinos in stealing money from the countrymen. While in the 21st century, there is now a separation between the government and the church ministry. So during the 19th century, Philippines is having golo or forced labor, where Filipinos are forced to work without getting sufficient salary or amount of wages. So they are forced to work to make buildings or infrastructures such as schools, hospitals, churches, and among others. While for today's in the 21st century, Filipinos now are having a fair amount of salary. During the 19th century, haciendas are being owned directly by the friars, while for today, owners and the farmers are having a permission serve as a legal basis that will protect his right to the said position. In terms of social aspect, during the 19th century, only men are allowed to take education. Only men are allowed to go to school and to take profession, while women are considered as weak and they have no right to take education, and they are only intended for household chores as housewife. While in the 21st century, women are having also an equal opportunity with the men. They can take now an education and any profession. In the 19th century, Philippines is having a maladministration of justice, racial discriminations, and rejection of human rights. So during the 19th century, Filipinos were often called as the Indios, which refers to the lowest level in the Philippines. So Filipinos or Indios were treated as uneducated people by the Spaniards. They were enslaved and were treated as not the citizen of the country. During that time, Indios were having the highest form of punishment because of the Spanish penal code. And this seems so unfair and injustice. While in the 21st century, human or universal rights are being introduced in the Philippines. So there is now fairness and equality for the Filipinos. Liberation and empowerment for humanity are being recognized and promoted. And the last one is the religious aspect. So during the 19th century, Philippines is only having one religion, which is the Roman Catholic by the Spaniards. While in the 21st century, there are a lot of religions, and every Filipino has the freedom to choose in which religion he or she is going to be with. By my reckoning, history serves as the mirror of today's situation of the Philippines. A glimpse of the past serves as an inspiration and enlightenment for the Filipinos, where national heroes have rendered their invaluable support, their love and sacrifices for the country, as they have fought for the freedom and independence of the Philippines. The past have played a big role which makes the Philippines of what it is today. And that will be all. Thank you so much.